After the disappearance of a woman named Maiko Yatani, her husband Takahito Yatani reported her missing to the police. However, the police promptly arrested him and his mother. Today's story is about the Mama's Boy incident that occurred in Chiba District, Japan. On March 4, 2018, Maiko Yatani, a woman in her 30s who lived in Chiba District, approximately an hour away from Tokyo, went missing. Her husband, Takahito, immediately reported her disappearance to the police, prompting a swift investigation to find her. Takahito informed the police that right before her disappearance, they had a minor argument in the car. Maiko, unable to control her anger, got out of the car and walked away, disappearing mysteriously. Left behind, Takahito made desperate efforts to find his missing wife. He personally made flyers and distributed them on the streets, accompanied by his mother. Takahito, 37 years old, was a highly regarded employee who even appeared in promotional videos for the bank where he worked. He had met and married Maiko at the same bank, and they had a 2-year-old daughter together. Co-workers at the bank were familiar with the couple, and upon learning about Maiko's disappearance, they hoped for her safe return. The police, following Takahito's statement, began their investigation by examining surveillance cameras near the roads. However, there were discrepancies in Takahito's statement. There was no footage of Maiko getting out of the car. While it was possible that the location where Maiko left the car might not have been captured by CCTV, the police considered the possibility that Takahito might be lying. Suspicious, the police interviewed acquaintances to learn more about Maiko's relationship with Takahito. According to their accounts, there didn't seem to be any major issues between the couple. Eventually, the police directly interrogated Takahito, and in July 2018, 4 months after Maiko's disappearance, he confessed to his involvement in her disappearance. The police found it hard to believe this case. Moreover, there was a third person deeply involved in this situation, and that was Takahito's mother, Emi. Takahito and Maiko seemed to have no visible problems after their marriage, but they were unable to have a child immediately. Maiko, who desperately wanted a child, never gave up. She underwent infertility treatments, diligently preparing for pregnancy. Finally, in September 2016, 3 years later, she gave birth to the precious daughter she had dreamed of. However, her pregnancy and childbirth were far from easy. She faced multiple threats of miscarriage during her pregnancy and had to undergo a cesarean section, resulting in the birth of a premature baby girl. During these challenging times, Maiko became mentally exhausted. Even after their daughter was born, she constantly worried that everything might go wrong. As a result of this anxiety, symptoms of obsessive-compulsive disorder, which she had never experienced before, appeared. According to Takahito's testimony, this period marked an increase in frequent arguments between them. Maiko told Takahito not to touch household items like light switches or doorknobs with his bare hands, fearing he might transfer germs to the baby. She displayed an excessive preoccupation with cleanliness, but Takahito, unable to understand her behavior, ignored her words. Maiko's increasingly irrational conduct frustrated Takahito, and he disregarded her pleas. She would unleash her anger verbally and even physically, kicking out in frustration. She found herself dealing with depression and heightened symptoms of anxiety and anger while raising their child alone. She even started yelling at their young daughter. She would scold her for not drinking milk properly and would call Takahito during the day, telling him she couldn't stand looking at their daughter anymore and demanded he come home immediately. She even made unbelievable threats, saying that if he didn't come home right away, she didn't know what might happen to their daughter. Takahito claimed that Maiko had made their lives difficult due to postpartum depression. However, those around her did not easily witness this side of Maiko. People close to her stated that she appeared to be living happily with her daughter after giving birth. In her social media accounts a year ago, in 2017, there were photos of birthday presents she received from her husband and happy moments spent with her husband and daughter. Nobody seemed to notice the precariousness of their married life. However, Takahito and Maiko's married life was connected to Takahito's mother, Emi. Emi was the CEO of a company. After Maiko gave birth to their daughter, she often visited her in-laws with the child. Because of this, rumors circulated among people that they had a good relationship due to the high respect they paid to their in-laws. However, Emi had an abnormal obsession with her son. She believed she was the only one who could fully protect him. Takahito, who grew up under such a mother, was living a life commonly referred to as a mama's boy, reporting everything to his mother. Emi knew everything about the minor issues and disagreements between the couple, and even knew about Maiko's postpartum depression after she gave birth. Initially, Emi was worried about Maiko, but Takahito started complaining about his wife to his mother at every opportunity, which made Emi increasingly angry. In February 2017, a year before Maiko's disappearance, Takahito told his mother for the first time that he wanted to kill his wife. It wasn't just words. He asked his mother to buy him a freezer where he could store Maiko's body. At that time, the plan was not executed, but he continued to send messages to his mother expressing his desire to kill his wife. Afterward, Takahito and his mother began to solidify their plan. On March 4, 2018, Takahito secretly mixed sleeping pills into the curry he prepared for his wife. After eating the curry, Maiko fell into a deep sleep. Takahito then moved her unconscious body to the car and drove away. Without hesitation, he strangled Maiko. Despite her intense resistance, her body soon went limp. Takahito immediately drove the car to the predetermined meeting place with his mother. The place was Emi's house. Emi had already dug a hole in one corner of the yard and was waiting for Takahito. Upon his arrival, they buried Maiko's body clandestinely. And he directly reported Maiko's disappearance to the police. He shamelessly distributed flyers with his mother, showing a desperate appearance, pleading for his wife to come back. As time passed, he began to display an attitude suggesting to people that Maiko had betrayed him and run away with another man, asking if they knew anything about it. However, under the suspicious scrutiny of the police regarding his statements and behavior, Takahito eventually confessed. The police found Maiko's body in Emi's backyard. This case became widely known in Japan as the Mama's Boy elite corporate worker murder case, where a mama's boy and his mother collaborated to murder his wife. This led to more than double the usual number of spectators attending the trial. People were horrified by Takahito's testimony in court. He claimed that his motive for the crime was self-defense to protect his precious daughter from his wife, who was enraged and violent, and that the threat extended to his daughter. He argued that he had no choice but to do it to protect his daughter. However, all his statements seemed to be attempts to justify his actions, and it was impossible to verify whether Maiko had been violent towards their daughter. Additionally, Takahito's claim that Maiko had postpartum depression was based solely on his statements. Therefore, the prosecution questioned Maiko's mental state at the hospital where she gave birth to her daughter. The hospital stated that she experienced postpartum depression, which many women go through, but it was not severe. The prosecution pointed out that while she did experience emotional distress, it was not a one-sided violence but rather mutual fighting between the couple. A few months before the incident occurred, Maiko expressed her frustration about her husband on social media, mentioning how she desperately sought a daycare center to leave their child while her husband happily slept after drinking, not helping with parenting. She was trying to find her own ways to handle parenting. In the end, the court determined that Takahito's motive for the murder was not due to domestic violence but ultimately to kill Maiko and gain sole custody of their daughter. They believed he feared that if they divorced, Maiko would gain custody of their daughter. Emi, who ended up on trial alongside Takahito, denied thinking her son would actually commit murder in court. She claimed that she had only helped out of spontaneous kindness because she thought her son acted impulsively and not with premeditation. However, messages she had sent to her son were revealed, shocking everyone. In these messages, she discussed detailed aspects of the murder, saying things like, "Carotid arteries won't cause pain, strangling will make her suffer," and in another message, "A mother can become a devil. I'll always be on your side no matter what, I'll do anything for you, Takahito." These messages revealed a twisted form of maternal love, which played a significant role in encouraging her son's murder plan. In the final verdict, the court emphasized that the criminal acts of both Takahito and Emi aimed at a complete family crime, and they lacked genuine remorse for their actions. In the end, the court sentenced Takahito to 17 years in prison and Emi to 6 years in prison. The judge concluded, the most challenging part for them was not being able to raise their hard-won child with unconditional love. Some of Maiko's actions might have been a cry for help, like making chocolates for her husband on Valentine's Day and struggling to reduce the medicine she was taking while attempting to conceive their second child. We can understand these aspects, so why couldn't her husband? Many people in the courtroom were in tears after the judge's statement, but Takahito remained expressionless. A husband who, instead of supporting his wife struggling with postpartum depression, went so far as to murder her with his own hands. An infuriating mother who not only ignored her suffering daughter but also encouraged her son to become a demon. Many Japanese citizens were filled with anger. People shed tears for Maiko, who had tried her best to live despite her circumstances, only to meet such a tragic end.